Well, this is a very important topic, and it's a common question that I get. As I mentioned, I get this question in webinars. I get the question when I'm giving, in-person courses, when I get it from my clients. We do some open mic stuff where it's, ask me anything,
Yes.
AMA type format. It's a common question. Um, and I want to give you a context to think about it. And Naren, you'll like this because you may not understand much about baseball, but there is a sport I think you understand cricket, right? Is cricket your form of baseball?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Cricket. I
Yeah.
love
Well,
basketball. Those are like definitely
yeah.
basketball and cricket.
Well, maybe you won't get this, although Naren's a Canadian, so he better get this one right, or I'm going to be disappointed. He may have to give up his Canadian
Citizenship.
card. But Wayne Gretzky, the former Canadian,
Yes, he's
um,
no longer a Canadian.
no
So
longer Canadian. Although I think he kept dual citizenship,
probably, yeah.
but Wayne Gretzky famously said when he was brought to Phoenix to kind of head up the Phoenix Coyotes, the Arizona Phoenix Coyotes, he was brought on every broadcasting channel, sports department to
Were
ask
you
him.
in Phoenix at the time?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We were there, and I was excited about it. And of course, Wayne Gretzky, needs no introduction. But all the sportscasters would ask him, "How in the world did you become the number one scorer in NHL history?" And at first, he answered the question kind of coyly, kind of shy, like, "Well, I always pride myself on being very fit. I took my fitness very serious. I was always ready to play." And then he said, "I also, prided myself on learning my skating technique. So, I could be very effective on the ice." And every time when they said, "Well, no, that wasn't it. No, that wasn't it." And finally, he got to the right answer. He said, "No, the reason I was able to score more goals than anybody else was I never skated where the puck was. I always skated where it was going, where it was going." And that's such a brilliant response, Naren. If think about it, I don't know if you know much about hockey, Naren, but if you're skating where the puck was, by the time you get there, the puck isn't there anymore.
It's moving so fast, right?
It's moving so fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, nobody can remember who the number 2 scorer in NHL history was.
Do you know who that is?
I'd have to look it up. Go Google
Google
it,
it.
Naren, just for Gordie Howe, maybe. See if my guess
I'll
is right.
Google it. Yeah, I'll
Is it
Google
Gordie
it.
Howe? But anyway, people can't remember who was number 2 because the guy that was number 1, Wayne Gretzky, was so far ahead, nobody remembers who was number 2. But anyway, this applies to you in your practice. If we're trying to grow, you might want to skate where the puck is going, not where it is, which maybe we need to get ahead of it a little bit in terms of our staffing. I don't like to use the word staff, Naren, when I talk about team. Staff to me is either a stick or an infection. Okay, you spell
Yes.
the infection spelling a little bit differently. I like to think of it as our team. I believe the words we use are important. Maybe the better way to frame the title of this podcast episode would be how to determine if you have the appropriate number of team members in your practice. Maybe that's the
I
way.
found the answer, Gary, when you're ready.
Okay, who was it?
So, okay, Wayne Gretzky is 2,857. And how is number 4 1850? So it's 2,857 versus 1850. Number 2 is, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, Jaromir, Jaromir, and the last name is Jagr. And that's
Well, I could have guessed
1921.
that. I could have guessed that till I was blue in the face, and I never would
That's
have gotten that one right.
1921, but he literally has 1,000 points, almost 1,000-point lead on number 2, Wayne
Yeah,
Gretzky.
that's why nobody can remember him. At least I got in the top 5 with my Gordie Howe answer.
Yes, you did.
So for the Canadian listeners and the hockey fans, I hope I meet your approval by my hockey knowledge. So, all right, back to the topic at hand. How do you determine if you're appropriately staffed in your practice? Well, you want to skate where the puck is going, not where it is. But you have to be careful about it because your largest actual line item expense, that shows up on your profit and loss statement, is your team member compensation. That's your largest actual line item expense. And you've got to be mindful of that because you don't want to be overstaffed. You don't want to be overstaffed. You don't want to be understaffed. In fact, I like my own concept is I like a little bit of tension in terms of the number of team members. I would like to be slightly understaffed, slightly, but make sure that I have a budget to pay all my team members really well.